beautiful beaders, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com. Today I have the September 2020 dollar bead box ready to open up with you guys. Let's crack it open and see what's inside. Now this is a box I've been getting for over 2 years now. I have lots of unboxings on my playlist if you'd like to check those out. And they not only have the dollar bead box, but they have the dollar bead bag add-on. That's an $8 a month add-on. We're gonna look at this first, and it contains 4 strands of 4mm and 4 strands of 3mm fire polish beads, all in different surprise colors and finishes that you get every month, and it's a great way to bulk up your stash of a very versatile and very high quality bead. So let's go ahead and open this up first. Here are all the names of the strands we'll be taking a closer look at. And what's great about the dollar bead bag and box subscriptions is you can go back on their site if you are a subscriber or a member, and you can purchase more of these strands for just $1 a piece, as well as lots of other additional items like we'll see from the box. So the first one is called Crystal Fern Green Lined. And I just love getting these crystal lined strands. They're so interesting. The outside is a crystal clear, and you can see right through that down to the lining, which is a vibrant and beautiful shade of green. The next strand on the list is called Jet Silver Wash. So we have a black or jet in the background, and then you can see the beautiful silver metallic wash that is over top of the jet. So it gives it a kind of mottled look. It's not exactly solid over that black. It's a little bit splotchy and very interesting. And then next, one of my favorite whites to get, if I'm going to use a basic white, I love these pearl whites. That's what this is called. And you can see it's got a pearlescent sheen to it that makes it look a little bit more elegant than just a plain opaque white or other form. And I love how it brings out the faceting of the fire polish beads. And then finally, for our 3mm strands, this is called Crystal Rose Amethyst Luster. What a gorgeous combination. That beautiful light blush pink with a little bit of a peachy tone, and those amethysts, of course, giving those more of a purplish cast there. And that luster finish that you can see that is glistening as I move it under the light, just that very thin metallic coating. So great selection of 3mm fire polish to get us started. And now let's look at the 4mm. We're gonna start with one called Jet Vintage Copper Luster. All right, so I think I've matched these up correctly with their names. This one's called Jet Vintage Copper Luster. This is one I haven't gotten yet before. It is so beautiful. It is another variegated strand with splotches of that metallic in almost a berry red tone. And it kind of reminds me of when the beads have a Picasso or a travertine finish, and they have those other little splotches which make the beads look a little more stone-like. So overall, very beautiful combination. And then the next one I have is called Crystal Vintage Olive Silver Luster. A lot going on. You can see that silver luster over the top of the olive green, which is very translucent, lets a lot of light through in the background. It's another unique and beautiful combination to work with. Next up, we have one called Opaque White Rose Copper Luster. This one is a warmer neutral, but also has those pops of light metallic reddish tones that are painted over the facets, and under certain angles you can see more of those than others. And we have one strand left to look at for our 4mm, and this one is called Jet Speckled Bronze Luster. Isn't this interesting? Kind of gives an electric green metallic illusion under certain angles, or a very bright gold metallic that isn't really fully on all of the different facets of the bead. You have some of these other more dull sections that are showing through, which give it a nice contrast. It's not an overall solid painted metallic. So a lot of unique strands, and this is the gist of what you usually get in the dollar bead bag. You get 8 strands just like that in a totally different mix each month. And I think they're great about sending new and unique strands. By the way, I didn't mention it at the beginning of the video, but I do have a $2 off coupon for you guys that they have set up. If you'd like to use the code ORCHID2, that will save you $2 off any purchase at dollarbeadbox.com, whether that's a subscription or if you'd like to just sign up for a yearly membership. Or if you're already a member or a subscriber, that would be good off of any purchase. So I will leave that as well as the link to this subscription right down below the video. And they have all different options as far as different lengths. If you'd like to sign up for the dollar bead box, which we're about to look at, it starts at $18.50 a month with free shipping and handling in the US. That also enables you to purchase more items on dollarbeadbox.com. And you can choose to add the $8 a month dollar bead bag onto that with no additional shipping cost. All right, so now let's look at the contents of the dollar bead box for the month of September. And every month we get a little note giving us a tidbit of info as to what's going on. It says, believe it or not, the dollar bead box has been in operation now for 5 years, so congratulations to them on that. And it says, as a token of appreciation, they are going to be including a small thank you item with every reorder throughout the month of September. So that's awesome. On the back of our note, we have an organized list of everything we're going to find in our box, starting out with the top section of strands. We're going to have lots of beautiful Czech glass to look at. And then our additional items, which is a sampling of all different things, including beads, pendants, findings, stringing materials. It could be anything really that they sell on their site, and it's more of a sampler to let you know some of the things that they have on their online store. So I'm gonna get it organized. Here's a peek at what you can find inside the box when you initially open that up. And now we will take a look at everything one at a time. All right, so this is my personal favorite section because I love looking at the Czech glass strands that they send, and occasionally they will throw in some pearls or some small gemstone bead strands. This time it looks like all Czech glass. The first one we're getting started with is the strand of 6mm bright cherry red Czech glass heart beads in the color cyan. It says there's 20 pieces on this strand. You can see how beautiful and shiny they are. You can see through those just a little bit. And overall, with that pretty small size, they should be easier to work into some other designs. And sometimes you can even get away with using shapes like this in designs where you'd normally just use a round bead, say in stringing. And it's not in your face that they're red hearts, but they end up blending in. And upon closer inspection, it can be a cute detail. Next up, we have another cyan bright red strand. These are the 4mm glass druck or round beads. Also in the translucent glass, letting some light through, not opaque, and perfectly round, a great basic to add to your bead stash. And they also coordinate very well with our little red hearts there down below. Next up, we have a strand of Czech glass daisy beads. There's actually quite a few on this strand, it's pretty long. There are 60 pieces, and you could either receive the color aqua or olive, and obviously I got the aqua. They are a 3x6mm size, and they're called daisies because you can't really tell on the side, but there you go. When you look at them face on, you can see that little bit of detail, which makes them look like little flowers, kind of rondelle shaped, where they are a flatter pressed disc, and you could use those in a similar manner as if you were using rondelles if you wanted to. And then the next strand is another strand of flowers. These are the Czech glass bell flowers in opaque pink. There's 25 pieces on the strand, and they are a 4x6mm size as well. And I just love that creamy combination of the light rosy pink and the white. And you get some of these darker tones that settle into the grooves of this glass, which overall gives these a lot of beautiful detail, and they almost look a little bit ceramic. So there's a look at the face of this bead. Beautiful and high quality glass design. Next up for our strands, we have some 4x5mm rondelle beads. These are in the color Jet Matte Hematite, and there's 35 pieces on the strand. These are actually really teeny tiny, and they are almost jet black, but just slightly grayish, kind of a gunmetal tone, slight metallic look to them. No extra ribbing or etched detail, just rounded rondelles, as you can see. And then finally, for our strands, we have this adorable strand of 6mm Czech glass star beads in the color Crystal Northern Lights, which I absolutely love this combination. All different vibrant tones of metallics, from silver to gold to copper, and then some other colors like your orange, magenta, blue, even a little bit of green. So a lot of different colors coming out in these stars, and they are quite small. So if you were to add these in with some other designs, you could really get away with using these with a lot of different colors. And if you just used a few for a pop here and there of some extra shine and metallic, they would be really adorable used in that way, or more together to make an impact. So that's all of our strands. It was a total of 6 of them in the box. And as you can see, there's no particular theme with the dollar bead box, so that's one thing to keep in mind if that matters to you at all. Just another way that this box is maybe different from some other boxes out there. And in addition to the strands, we have that whole section of additional items. And we're gonna start out with a bag containing these 2 very unique beads. They are Czech glass table cut anchors, 12 by 15mm, and it says the color is called Purple Opal with Travertine, 2 pieces inside this bag. And these are really gorgeous, actually. The table cut is beautiful, and it's not just a flat purple. You have that milky opalescence inside, and then here is a look at the edges of the table cut beads, the travertine stone-like finish, and the holes there running right through the center of the bead. So with 2 of these, you could of course make yourself a pair of earrings. I think these would look really cool as connectors on a necklace too. Maybe separating the front section of a necklace and the back section, just to give you an idea. We also have a bag containing some of these Czech glass ribbed round beads in the color Peridot. These are 5mm in size, and there are 10 pieces in the bag. So definitely a sample size amount. These remind me of the Czech glass melon beads with the ribbed edges and the round overall appearance. Very pretty shade of light green, and also let a lot of light through, and you can see how uniform they are with their little ribbed edges and cleanly drilled holes drilled through the center. Next, we have another little bag of beads. These are the Czech glass daisy beads in the color jet. They're 3 by 6, so these are exactly like those aqua beads in that strand we just looked at, except these are in jet black. So here's another view of those beads. This time you can get a better view of the face and the back of what they look like with the detail there. The scalloped edge that they have, and the little indentations all around them that make them look like they have petals. Our next bag contains 2 14mm Czech glass laser etched 2-hole coin beads. The color is called matte purple. And there you can see the 2 holes running parallel through the bead, these flat discs with an interesting crackle-like appearance in the paint. Beautiful satiny metallic deep purple with a contrasting black in what appears to be the veining of the crackle. So these would be fun certainly for bead weaving, and just like I said with those anchor beads, you got 2 of those, you could possibly turn these into a pair of earrings, or as connectors you could make yourself a multi-strand necklace, especially since you have 2 holes ready to go running through these. And they are a little bit larger, kind of like a connecting finding. The next item we have is a vintage German crystal pendant, 28mm in size. And here's a look at the one I received. It may be that everybody gets something that's a little bit different in this section. It's very interesting. I like how the edges have that extra cut, kind of prismatic effect. I'm not sure what this is right off the bat inside, but if anybody knows, feel free to leave a comment down below. And there you can see the hole at the top. Mine's just a little bit rough there at the top, but not too bad. So if you end up getting something different, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I'm always interested in how these additional items differ from person to person, and obviously that helps others too, and it's fun to hear what everybody got. Next up, we have a bag containing 3 pieces of Czech glass tabular rectangles in a 10 by 16 millimeter size, and the color is called matte turquoise. These are a beautiful shade, very smooth, and there's the hole that runs right through the center. So another sampling of yet another Czech glass shape that they have to offer on dollarbeadbox.com that you could pick up more of if you'd like to. But it is nice that they included more than just one piece of this, so you could go ahead and incorporate these in something right away with the 3 that you have. And you can see that they're very similar in size to these 2 anchor beads that we received. Our next bag contains these 2 Czech glass tabular drops in a 10 by 15 millimeter size, and the color is called Crystal Light Blue. I have gotten this shape before and maybe in a different color, but you could see that teardrop shape, the hole running up and down through the length of the bead, and they've got these striations of this colorful light blue glass, kind of pearlescent, that's mixed in with the clear. Very delicate and elegant and pretty beads. We then have 2 of these Czech glass table cut rectangles. It's called beige opal with travertine. There's 2 pieces inside, 8 by 12 millimeter. Getting lots of this tabular cut this time around. There's these 2 here, and you can see that they let some of the light through, and there's the striations of the beige running through the bead, and the edge there with the travertine finish. And there's both of those side by side, almost look a little bit more greenish down there toward the bottom. So setting these rectangles down beside our other rectangles, I can see you could actually put all of these together if you wanted to and make, say, a bracelet out of those directly from the contents of the box. These all kind of coordinate. The top of these brings in more of that purplish tone, and the bottom brings in more of the greenish tone. Just an idea. Our next bag contains these 2 Czech glass table cut square beads. The color's called topaz, white opal, and olive, and they are an 18 millimeter size. So that's a really pretty combination, the 3 different colors on these Czech glass flat table cut squares. You have the translucent olive green, and then more of a milky white, and a deep, dark, translucent kind of root beer brown color on the bottom. There's a look at the side of the bead, and the hole just runs right through the center. Then next we have a Opal Nugget. This is a 20 to 24 millimeter size. There's 1 piece inside there. And I want to say we received an Opal Nugget last month. Was it in a different shape? I'm trying to remember. But it's really cool. This is a natural stone, obviously. There's all different neutral tones and striations and variations running through that. It is a larger hole on this bead, something that you could incorporate in a pendant, or you could wire wrap in some way. Think of those as a couple of options for you. And maybe use this with what we received last month if you were subscribed at that point. Next up, we have a bag containing a metal stamping. This is the Heart series. It's a 14 by 52 millimeter, 1 piece inside of there. So in addition to the beads, this is an example of something else you might find in the dollar bead box, just another type of jewelry making component. This is a pretty thin gold toned brass stamping. There's a look at the back. One of those options, again, with lots of different possibilities, especially with all those openings that this has. Now, it is pretty thin. I could probably bend this if I wanted to, but it would probably snap, so I'm not gonna do that. Otherwise, if you're just holding it normally, it doesn't feel like it's gonna bend in my hand. And we've gotten some other stampings like this before, like a little butterfly and a round filigree stamping, for example. Our last bag on the list contains a Swarovski Chaton. This is a crystal lilac shadow foiled color, 1 piece inside of that, so that is genuine Swarovski crystal, which dollar bead box does carry from time to time. They do have some Swarovski, so it's a great time to pick some of that up if you see it at their great prices. There's a look at the back. And the beautiful sparkly facets. I'm seeing a lot of purple and gold on this one. That's gorgeous. I'm excited to get that. You can put this in a setting that's designed for this particular size and bead weave around it, just as one thought. And then finally, here is a bonus item. This is a bag containing a mix of all sorts of different beads. It looks like they have coordinated this bag in tones of monochromatic black and white and grays, and these do all appear to be Czech glass beads. They are not plastic, and you could possibly make a bead soup type of situation out of something like this. There are some that are the same though, like look at these adorable little Czech glass butterflies, the little tulip bead. So some little treasures for you to go through, like a mini bead sort. You could separate these by color and use them together in a design, or just incorporate a couple here and there in different pairs of earrings. So nice little bonus, nice that they included something like that. Never gonna turn down a bonus item. All right guys, so that is everything for the September 2020 dollar bead box. I want to give you guys a huge thank you for being with me and unboxing this with me, because it makes it so much more fun for me to be able to do that and share it with you. Feel free to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this month's box. If you are a subscriber, let us know your experience or anything else you'd like to say. As you can see, for the box subscription, they included 18 different items, all different items, a sampler of the things you can find on their website, from strands to bagged items, pendants to other jewelry making components. And of course, the 8 strands above from the dollar bead bag. Definitely a good value, especially if you signed up for the longer subscription, and it's free to ship to your door if you're in the US. And don't forget to use the coupon code ORCHID2 if you'd like to save $2 off your first purchase or your subscription or membership. I will leave that as well as the link down below the video. Hopefully this gave you a good up close and personal look at the contents of this month's box. That's what I love to do. I like to give you the opportunity to see if this type of box is right for you and your beading style and budget, because all boxes are not right for everybody, and that's okay. This is just another one of the options out there that I am happy to share. So if you like this video, I'd love for you to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe, because I'd love to have you, and that way you will know when I am posting new content. I also leave the links to my social media handles down below, so you can follow me along there and check out my website and blog at orchidandopal.com, where I sell my finished pieces and patterns, and we also discuss some further things, all bead related. So until next time, I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your day, and as always, happy beading.